So these are all built directly on the wheels. You can take them anywhere, which is kind of part of the beauty of them. They offer a lot of freedom, basically.
Living in a tiny home offers plenty of benefits for families to enjoy.
They're finding that them and their children are getting outside more. Not only that, like you're living in them with say you have a small family, like say 2 of you and a child, right? You're finding that you're almost communicating a little bit better because you're in a smaller space, so you kind of have to. And that sort of goes back to like the older days when everybody was in smaller spaces. Yeah, we're finding people are kind of coming together a little bit more and as families, you know.
Whether you are looking to do a home renovation or simply a fan of interior design, the BC Home and Garden Show is the place to be. Reporting from the BC Place Stadium in Vancouver, I'm Archie Rose at TV Dad, and I am one with 25.
Thanks, Archie. When we come back, American Samoa's Fagatogo Market showcases local culture, and the Sparkman Wharf boasts great views, good food, and entertainment in Tampa's Channel District.
Know the latest news and information here and abroad. In Aguila, Balita, track the latest happenings in the provinces in Aguila Provincia. Be aware of important events in Asia in Asean in Focus, and be updated in the biggest news around the world in Eagle News International. Tune into Mata ng Agila and get the day's headlines and news that are sharp, accurate, and objective. Only here at Net 25.
Not because he's a friend, but for proven integrity.
Ngayong Sabado, sama-sama nating kilalanin kung sino si Attorney Francis Tolentino sa likod at harap ng kamera.
Ang aking pong birthday wish ay sikreto na lang po siguro.
Mula sa Arescom, binabati namin si
Francis Tolentino! Happy birthday!
Ngayong Sabado, January 12, 2019, 8:30 ng gabi, Tol ng Bayan sa Net 25.
Welcome back. You are watching Eagle News Washington, D.C. Weekend Edition. Eagle News correspondent Arian Torres Suan takes us to Fagatogo Market, where family and friends enjoy some live music, handicrafts, and of course, some of the island's favorite food.
American Samoa is a U.S. territory covering 7 South Pacific islands and atolls. Tutuila is the largest island and it's home to the capital of Pango Pango. Today, I am going to take you to the market of American Samoa. You can see the different types of staple food that the Samoans really love to eat, like Samoan taro, bananas, sweet potatoes, taro, coconuts, and even this cocoa fruit. They use it to make a coco samoa for their coco elisa, or in Tagalog, champorado. Inside the market, they also sell politasi, their traditional clothes worn by girls. This headdress is called palefuyoono, which they wear during special events for Siva Samoa or dance. But once you get hungry, don't worry. There are food shops inside the market where you can buy drinks and food like this pancake or Samoan pancake. The ingredients are flour, baking powder, sugar, and water. And sometimes they add mashed bananas to make it more scrumptious.
So be sure to put American Samoa in your list of favorite places to visit this year and check out Fangatongo Market. Reporting from Pango in American Samoa, this is Arian Torres, Suwan, 1 with 25.
Thanks, Ariane. From American Samoa, let's head over to Florida, where the Sparkman Wharf in Tampa's Channel District boasts of great views, good food, and entertainment. Eagle News correspondent Abby Aragon takes us to this local destination with a new and improved look.
Hey Digital Nuts family! Today we're here in downtown Tampa at Sparkman Wharf, one of Tampa's newest waterfront attractions. Let's see what it's all about. Located in downtown Tampa, this newest waterfront property has a perfect view of the Garrison Channel. Sparkman Wharf's amenities include food vendors, dining areas, a large lawn area where you can catch some entertainment, play games, and watch games on a large screen TV. What I liked about the food vendors was their unique variety of pizzas and burgers to acai bowls and smoothies. I went and tried tacos from Gallitos, a Mexican eatery that displays a Hispanic influence in Tampa. In the lawn area, there are a variety of activities to enjoy, like chess, cornhole, watching games on the big screen, and enjoying live performances from local artists. Sparkman Wharf was renovated originally from Channelside Plaza to beautify the waterfront property and to draw in locals. With the exception of Splitsville, everything was brand new. By the way, I do recommend Splitsville for some good times bowling. The wharf is still not completely finished, however. The current plans are to have office spaces and retail centers finishing up in early to mid-2019. Overall, the atmosphere of this place is very lively and energetic. Everywhere you turn, there's people talking and having fun. Locals say that it's a big improvement from Channelside Plaza, which was more closed off.
I've watched this from the beginning. I watched when they first put the place up and how the moon used to be back here. I've watched all the different restaurants that were in here. It always has had restaurants. Splitsville's been here. Coming today, it was kind of exciting to see what they've done with it, and I really like it. Like it's really cute, and I hope it continues and grows. We need something like this downtown.
But even tourists look forward to enjoying the venue.
Well, I'm from Illinois, so just coming down here, we don't have anything like this down here at all. It's just beautiful, it's nice. Just be able to walk on the water. I love the restaurants, the little pop-up shops right here. I think it's really cool to see.
So next time you're here in Tampa, Florida, make sure to check out Sparkman Wharf. I'm Abby Aragon, ABC Florida correspondent, and I'm 1 with 25.
When we come back, the second New York City Anime Conference energizes thousands of fans. And cosplayers power up the LA Comic-Con. Eagle News Washington, D.C. Weekend Edition will return shortly.
Bukas na ang araw ng pagbabago. Papayat ka na. Order naman ako ng 8 burger.
Basta nakainan, champion ka!
Buy one, taste two.
Sabi mo magda-diet ka na.
Pag-gym ka? Sure?
It's a miracle!
Siya yung pinakamagandang nangyari sa buhay ko ngayong araw na to.
Kaya ko na gusto magpapayat para kay Michelle.
Di ba, forma ko, leggings pa lang, panalo na.
Oh.
Sanay ka? Kaloy, kung gusto mo mag-diet, sabayan mo ng tamang pagkain at pag-exercise.
Events happen around us all the time, in our community, in our country, around the world. Events that affect people, move communities, or simply inspire us. Interesting events that people need to know. In these interesting times, we continue to be a competent partner in delivering news about these events. Fast, accurate, balanced. Eagle News, because we live in interesting times.
This is Eagle News, Washington, D.C., Weekend Edition. I am Colleen Knight. Thousands of fans felt the energy at the fun-filled New York City Anime Conference on its second year. Maynard Binaday reports.
Over the past decade, the popularity of anime has grown exponentially. I'm here at Anime NYC here at New York City in the Javits Center. Let's go check it out. From discovering the newest trends to rekindling the love of childhood shows. From admiring the amazing cosplay to buying the latest merchandise. Anime NYC has it all, even for the most casual anime lover. Only in its second year, the convention has already garnered over 36,000 attendees from all over the world. We speak to some attendees at this year's gathering of all things anime to get their reactions and share their experiences.
Makes me feel like I'm not the only one. I've been into anime for practically forever, even without really knowing it until I got older. And knowing that there are some like-minded people into the same things I am, it makes me feel, a lot better about that. It feels like, oh, I'm not alone. Great, I love it. I could be a nerd, everyone's a nerd, you're a nerd, that guy over there is a nerd.
I guess I come basically for the cosplay. Like, I love making my own cosplays, seeing other cosplayers from the same thing that I'm cosplaying from, so we can just geek out about that sort of thing.
Growing up with anime, when I first saw anime, I was like, oh, this is pretty exciting. And today, every time I hear about an anime festival, I'm just really excited. I won't hesitate to come here.
The atmosphere at a show is really it's very energetic, and everyone's really happy to be there and they're excited, and when they come to your booth it's a lot of like screaming or laughing, and it's super fun. So I love being on site, and I love being able to interact directly with the people who are looking at my artwork and appreciating it, so it's super fantastic. I'm Maynard Binaday here at Anime NYC, and that's it for today. We are 1 with 25!
Thanks, Maynard. The anime vibe surely is contagious. In California, cosplayers upped their game at the recently held LA Comic-Con. Alan and Eva Basilyahe report.
What makes Comic-Con events like LA Comic-Con so popular and successful? From what we've seen, it's the fans. Comic book conventions are powered by fans.
But fans of what? Superheroes, anime, television, or the big screen? The answer to that is all of the above and more. There are no rules when it comes to what fans can geek out over. In fact, some blend their favorite character design or add a personal touch to cosplay something truly unique for them.
Who are you cosplaying as?
I'm cosplaying as a stormtrooper from Star Wars with a mix of little of the geisha. I have always been in love with the Japanese culture, so I kind of wanted to infuse it, do something new.
I'm Bakugo from My Hero Academia, and the reason I chose this is because he's a lot of people think he's angry. I just think he's passionate. That's why I respect him.
And I'm Kirishima, also from My Hero. So Bakugo and Kirishima are best buds, so we've been childhood friends, so it seemed fitting that, I'm this character.
I'm the Wasteland Survivor from Fallout 76. So I've got a Pip-Boy here,
which is from Fallout 4. All three 3D printed, finished, and painted.
I actually go to all the Comic Cons and I go to a lot of anime conventions. I'm a professional cosplayer and he's a professional costume designer, so we go to all the conventions together and we cosplay.
So describe what you've seen and what you've done here at LA Comic Con.
Taken a lot of pictures with other cosplayers and just walked around and enjoyed all the geekiness.
What made you come to LA Comic Con?
Honestly, I wanted to meet up with all of my nerdy friends at a place where we could dress up and hang out together doing fun things.
It's a tradition that me and my boyfriend do every year, and we just, I don't know, we love nerds. So we're nerds, so it's just fun being just around like-minded people.
What would be a perfect geek fun time?
We love watching movies, so any kind of geekdom you got going on there. We also like reading comic books, novels.
For me personally, I really like to play video games. Right now I'm playing Maple Story, so yeah, that's my favorite right now.
I'd also have to say video games. I'm actually in school studying game design, so that's kind of my entire life right now.
Celebrities were on hand, like Katie Cassidy from CW's Arrow.
So yeah, that was definitely a fun memory for me.
Drake, and cast members from Cartoon Network's Steven Universe. What can you talk about the reception of the fans for your character Paradox?
You know, I came on to the show thinking that I was just going to be maybe like in 1 or 2 episodes. I had no idea that I was going to be a recurring character. So I love that the fans have responded to Peridot in the way that they have. As a voiceover actress, we're in the booth all the time, and through social media we get all that love. But when I see fans at cons and they're waiting in line and I'm like rushing, you know, and I'm like trying to spend so much time with them, it really makes me happy because, you know, in a world of social media when we're like just glued to our phones or television, you know, it's nice to have that one-on-one energy interaction. So that's what keeps me going.
Before calling it a day, we asked Comic-Con goers why people should check out this event.
There's so many really, really cool people here. There's amazing costumes, and the Artist Alley was just absolutely phenomenal to walk through. Don't be afraid to show up with a costume or without a costume. It's a good time, so you should just come and hang out.
I'm amazed at the array of costumes and like the quality. Everyone's really going all out. It's a lot of fun.
You should come. It's fun.
Yeah, this is definitely like one of the best conventions in LA.
In real life, science fiction and fantasy characters are only make-believe.
But for a few days in Los Angeles, even an ordinary citizen can reveal their alter ego.
Whether that be a superhero or supervillain.
Whatever the case may be, it's all in good fun.
And for fans of the Los Angeles Comic-Con, fun has become a yearly tradition.
Reporting from the Los Angeles Convention Center for Eagle News, this is Eva and Alan, and we are 1 with 25.
Thank you, Alan and Eva. That is today's Eagle News Washington, D.C. Weekend Edition. Join us again next week for more stories from our bureaus across the nation and around the globe. Visit our websites at Eaglenews.PH and EagleNewsLive.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/EagleNewsPH. Thank you for watching. I am Colleen Knight, and I am 1 with 25.
Ito ang Eagle Broadcasting Corporation.
June 17, 1967, Eagle Broadcasting Corporation, EBC, was granted a legislative franchise to establish, maintain, and operate radio broadcasting and television stations in the Philippines. April 26, 1968, EBC began its humble operations with radio station DZEC 1062, featuring musical, drama, news, and public service broadcasting. Operating in its former home in Delta Building, it later transferred its offices at number 887, Meligaya Building 2, EDSA, Quezon City. The network further expanded and acquired local radio stations in Lucena, Dagupan, Cebu, and Davao. After the promulgation of the 1987 Constitution, EBC expanded its broadcast operations by launching DWDM 95.5, its own FM radio station. During the late 1990s, EBC ventured even further by investing in TV broadcasting. On April 23, 2000, EBC launched a television station, Net 25. It began airing nationwide on 3 free TV stations in Metro Manila, Cebu, and Davao, and reached more areas through cable affiliates. February 12, 2013, EBC transferred to a new building at number 25 Central Avenue, Culiat, Quezon City, where all of its portals are now stationed.
Ito sa likod ko yung mga pinangambahan ng participants bilang sa mga Pangulong Duterte at ating bansa ng Asean.
August 2013, EBC launched the integrated Eagle News service with correspondents in every corner of the country and with news bureaus in regional locations around the world. The network has correspondents in US, Europe, Russia, parts of Asia, Australia, and Africa. To support its expanding network and to better serve its audiences abroad, EBC on October 31, 2013 launched Eaglenews.PH, its online news portal, enabling the network to compete in a multi-platform format. This was later on followed by the launch of its video and audio live streaming on January 2, 2014, through which audiences can now view Net 25 and hear DZEC Radio Aguila anywhere around the world. May 6, 2018, EBC launched its own video streaming website, EagleNewsLive.com. Here, EBC's news and public service programs can be viewed online. October 2017, EBC Films, the film production arm of Eagle Broadcasting Corporation, released its first full-length film, entitled Guerrero. Due to its values-driven and quality programs, EBC has received various awards and recognition. On its golden anniversary, it was awarded Best Media Broadcasting Company for 2018 by the Golden Globe Annual Awards for Business Excellence. Eagle Broadcasting Corporation, celebrating its 50th year.
Now in its second season, EBC Digital Nest is exactly what it's named. A televised and online nest for its hosts and all viewers alike to connect with each other, no matter their location, interests, or aspirations, through experiences that bring them the world over. The content one might find on EBC Digital Nest has potential to be as broad as its viewership. Whether it's related to current events, product features, traveling adventures, foodie trips, cultures or lifestyles, life hacks, or so much more. EBC Digital Nest is for the explorers, the curious, the go-getters, the avid learners, and most of all, the dreamers. We aim to captivate with content that will move viewers to act on their goals or dreams by showing them that if they can think it, they can do it. Hosted by Nicole Tongol in the entertainment capital of the world, Las Vegas, along with correspondents reporting from all over the world, EBC Digital Nest will always provide a place where anyone can meet someone new, learn useful lessons, or even share their interest and support from the EBC Digital Nest family spread across many nations. Connect, learn, and share on EBC Digital Nest every Tuesday and Thursday at 7:30 p.m. and online at EBC Digital Nest on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
This is EBC Sports International, and here are this week's stories. University of Hawaii hosts the Diamond Head Classic College Basketball Tournament. Lakers start the new year not so happy with a loss to the Thunder. LeBron James and Giannis Antetokounmpo lead ballots from NBA All-Star Game. Dakar rallied participants head out to the formal start from the first stage of the 41st edition of the race. Paragliding popularity soars as Hong Kongers seek urban release. Plus, Judo Olympian Colton Brown focuses on winning gold in Japan. Hello everyone, I am Aljamain Santos, bringing you sports stories from around the globe, and this is EBC Sports International. When people think of Hawaii and sports, images of surf and sand usually enter their minds, not indoor basketball. But for the 10th year, the University of Hawaii is welcoming college teams from across the U.S. for the Diamond Head Classic Tournament. Alfred Asinas has the report.
In its 10th year, the University of Hawaii at Manoa is the gracious host here at the Stand Sheriff, welcoming returning teams like Bucknell, Rhode Island, and TCU. And they would be joined by NCAA tournament familiar names like Colorado, Charlotte, Indiana State, and the University of Nevada, Las Vegas.
The Diamond Head Classic Tournament features a bracket format consisting of 12 games. Each team plays one game for all 3 days, regardless of the results. Day 1 highlights included an attempt by Hawaii's Rainbow Warriors to break its losing streak to the UNLV Rebels, but to no avail. Their final score, 73-59. UNLV would eventually join TCU, Bucknell, and Indiana State to the semifinals on Day 2. Day 2 brought added excitement as Hawaii moved to the consolation finals by beating Colorado in overtime, while Indiana State and TCU advanced to the championship round. In the end, TCU came out on top as overall champions, with the final score 83-69 against Indiana State. And even though hometown favorite Hawaii won the consolation finals this year, it has yet to win its first Diamond Head Classic tournament.
Meanwhile, preparations are already underway for next year's Diamond Head Classic, as the University of Hawaii will welcome teams like Portland, UTEP, Georgia Tech, Houston, and Washington. Reporting from Honolulu, Hawaii, I'm Alfred Asinas, 1 with 25.
Thank you, Alfred. From college hoops, let's jump to the NBA, where the LA Lakers were hoping to start the new year with a win at home. But the Thunder had other plans, as Paul George led Oklahoma City in handing the Lakers their first loss of 2019. Our Southern California correspondent, Jaina Palasigi, has the story. Jaina?
The Lakers host their first game of the new year against Russell Westbrook and the Oklahoma City Thunder. With James and Rondo still out from injury, the Lakers aim to start 2019 with a win here at Staples Center. The Thunder bested the Lakers with a final score of 107-100 at the Staples Center. Even with the constant booing from the Los Angeles crowd, Paul George led the Thunder with 37 points. Russell Westbrook clinched his 11th triple-double of the season with 12 points, 16 rebounds, and 2 assists. Laker fans started heckling at George during the pregame introductions and continued booing the Southern California native on his every possession for not choosing Los Angeles in the free agency.
Yeah, I mean, I knew coming into it was no shock, no surprise. So it wasn't like I was being wild. I was prepared for it. It is what it is. I'm the bad guy, and that's fine.
You understand that it's not like you ever specifically promised to came here.
Yeah, I mean, I have, other than saying I would want to play here, and I didn't choose to come here. I'm not the only guy from SoCal, from LA area that didn't decide to play here. And you can go down the whole list of the line of guys from this beautiful city that didn't come here. So again, it is what it is. The decision's been made. No ill will. I mean, let's just be honest. The Lakers is one of the best, most historical franchises in the world. It is what it is. I'm with another good.
But when you hear people booing, does it give you a little extra edge and motivation?
No, it was fun. It was fun. I look forward to the second time of this season where I'll be booed, and that's in the Midwest. So it was fun. I enjoyed it. Regardless, the booing wasn't going to throw me off my game. I've been playing basketball for a really long time. And a little booing and a little noise is not going to make me forget how to play basketball.
Obviously, you guys want Paul to play well every time he's on the court, but when he's getting booed the way he was every time he touched the ball at the start of the game, do you want that more for him to get going in an environment like this?
I don't know if that gets him going, but, yes. That's the answer. Yes. No idea, mate. Whatever puts a bit of lead on the pencil,
Despite shooting troubles, Russell Westbrook recorded his 115th career triple-double and showcases his versatility as a player in his position.
Well, I mean, I think there's a lot of things that he does. I thought he had good shots tonight. I thought defended really well. I thought he made some great passes. We had an opportunity to really get off to a great start in that first quarter. We had some good looks, some good passes, and we just couldn't generate any scores from behind the three-point line. But he generated a lot of good shots for us. And then I think the other thing too was he rebounded, and he defended on the ball. So again, with him, when he's not shooting the ball particularly well, there's other things he does as a point guard that can impact the game. So I think it speaks to his talent level and how much, he's able to impact games just with his overall talent.
Although KCP led Los Angeles with a 25-point performance off the bench, the Lakers continue to struggle without LeBron James on the court. The Lakers dropped to 21-17, while the Thunder improved their record to 24-13 for their season. Reporting for EBC Sports International here at the Staples Center, I'm Jana Polisigi, 1 with 25.
Thank you, Jana. In other NBA news, four-time NBA Most Valuable Player LeBron James and Greek star Giannis Antetokounmpo led the first fan balloting updates for the NBA All-Star Game. Los Angeles Lakers star playmaker James tallies the most votes with 1,083,363 for the Western Conference frontcourt, while Milwaukee Bucks forward Antetokounmpo led the Eastern Conference with 991,561 votes in the first fan ballot returns. Voting continues through January 21 to determine the 10 starters for the 68th NBA All-Star Game on February 17 at Charlotte, North Carolina. James, a 14-time NBA All-Star and 3-time NBA All-Star Most Valuable Player, was followed in the West frontline by Slovenian 19-year-old swingman Luka Doncic of the Dallas Mavericks and Golden State Warriors star Kevin Durant. Chasing a starting berth were New Orleans star big man Anthony Davis at 605-417 and Oklahoma City's Paul George on 580-55, with New Zealand center Steven Adams of Oklahoma City next on 261-327. Three-time NBA champion and two-time NBA MVP Stephen Curry of the reigning champion Warriors topped Western Conference guards with 793-111 votes, and Minnesota's Derrick Rose joined him in the backcourt with 698-86 votes. Antetokounmpo was followed in East front court starting spot positions by Toronto's Kawhi Leonard and Philadelphia's Joel Embiid, a 7-footer from Cameroon. Boston's Kyrie Irving topped the East guards with 910-329 votes, and Miami's Dwayne Wade was second on 409-156. Up next, Dakar Rally participants head out to the formal start for the first stage of the 41st edition of this race. Paragliding popularity soars as Hong Kongers seek urban release. Plus, Judo Olympian Colton Brown focuses on winning gold in Japan. EB Sports International will be back in a moment. Welcome back. You are watching EBC Sports International. I am Aljamain Santos. In Peru, Dakar Rally participants head out to the formal start for the first stage of the 41st edition of this race. Ready, set, go. Dakar Rally racers head to the formal start line. For the first time ever, the race will take place in one single country, Peru. On the menu for the 334 vehicles registered are 10 states, 5,000 kilometers of which most is 100% sand.
Il faut que je termine, hein. C'est plutôt un objectif plus qu'un espoir, il faut aller au bout, donc je me suis préparé dur, je me suis préparé longtemps pour ça, donc au jour d'aujourd'hui je suis prêt et voilà, j'ai hâte de commencer.
Porque me gusta mucho, vine desde las 5 de la mañana estoy acá, ya es cuarta vez que vengo a ver el Dakar, siempre que ha sido el Dakar en Perú he venido.
From the sands of Dakar, let's go to the bustling city of Hong Kong. Although renowned for its skyscrapers and dense housing blocks, the steep mountains that crown the southern Chinese city offer a wealth of outdoor opportunities, including paragliding. The sport is catching on, giving people a chance to escape the dense urban sprawl below. On a mountain slope overlooking Hong Kong, Giovanni Lam waits for the right gust of wind to send him soaring skywards. One of a growing number of paragliders using flight to escape the dense urban sprawl of the city. Lam says patience is rewarded in paragliding. Lam, a university lecturer and youth counselor, brought 3 novices and heavy equipment on a 40-minute mountain trail hike last month, with the group waiting 2 hours in the winter chill for the weather to turn. Once the clouds dispersed, revealing a rolling tapestry of parkland below, Lam ordered his tandem protege, Keith Young, to walk against the wind as he pulled on lines attached to the canopy behind him. Within seconds, the glider caught the breeze and the duo took off. Lam says that Hong Kong is very crowded and there are always many people wherever you go. But once you are off in the sky, you are free. It feels like there are no chains or constraints. With most young Hong Kongers priced out of the city's eye-watering property market, often living with parents in cramped flats well into their 30s, paragliding is one of a number of outdoor sports that offer release from the stress of the concrete jungle below. Lam hopes the sport will help his students gain a different perspective on the city they live in. With his feet firmly back on solid ground, 22-year-old first-timer Young was exhilarated. Young said, "The view is very different from what we see on the ground, or even from hiking up a peak. It's like leaping into a new world." While Hong Kong is renowned for its skyscrapers and dense housing blocks, the steep mountains that crown the southern Chinese city tower over any man-made structure, giving it a wealth of hiking trails and outdoor opportunities. Lam explains that paragliding has steadily caught on, from just a few dozen pilots a few years ago to some 200 active members today. The 44-year-old Lam first tried paragliding in Bali and has leaped off mountainsides across Asia. But his favorite destination is still Hong Kong. He rates it 5 stars for difficulty with fast-changing tropical weather and small landing zones, making it both a challenge and unforgiving place. The sport is not without its dangers. In July, experienced Hong Kong paraglider Patrick Chung Yuk-Wah, a friend of Lam's, failed to come back from a flight during squally conditions as a typhoon neared the region. With grim weather conditions setting in after he was reported missing, it took rescuers 5 days to locate and retrieve Chung's body. The sport also debuted the following month at the Asian Games, where an Afghan athlete suffered a spinal injury and a Chinese competitor broke a leg in separate crash landings. Hong Kong has 8 approved flying areas for paragliding, but pilots fear the sport's growth might be limited by pressure to build on parkland in a city with a major housing shortage. Hong Kong has 8 approved flying areas for paragliding, but pilots fear the sport's growth might be limited by pressure to build on parkland in a city with a major housing shortage. 2 landing zones within the designated flying areas have recently become unusable because of urban development. Lam says, "We can't fly without landing. It's a pity that Hong Kong attaches a lot of weight to development, especially property development. It's important that we treasure what we have now." Judo Olympian Colton Brown focuses on winning gold in Japan. That's next, when EBC Sports International returns.
Eagle News teams are fair.
Sa impeachment complaint laban kay Supreme Court Chief Justice Maria Lourdes Sereno, ang ilang maestra...
Ang rekomendasyon na makasuhan ang mga sangkot kasama na ang mga opisyal ng customs.
Hardworking.
Papaunlad ng isang bata na magiging isang future youth leaders.
Dedicated.
Sa nasawi ay dito natagpuan yung bangkay.
Ito yung kanilang paraan ng pag-aalaga ng mga may sakit na leprosy noong unang panahon.
Committed to public service.
Ang chairmanship ng Asean sa bansang Singapore.
Marami yung mga biktima ng mga nawawala. Mamambahan ng Bureau of Customs na nasa merkado na yung mga pinaging produkto.
Sa kapila ng mga kilos protesta na nanatiling
dahil
payapa.
Dahil sa mabilis na pagresponde ng mga pamatay sunog, ang apoy mabilis na naapila.
Karoon ng equal opportunity ang ibang mga kababaihan.
ng mga kabataan at ipinakita sa pamagitan ng kanilang mga likha.
Nanatiling kulang pa rin ang tubig para sa irigasyon, para sa pagtatanim ng ating mga kababayang magsasaka.
As we live in interesting times.
Thanks for staying with us. You are watching EBC Sports International. I am Aljamain Santos. The 2020 Olympics is just around the corner. It's not surprising that athletes around the world have their eyes set already on Japan, the host for these upcoming games. EBC gets up close with American Colton Brown as he focuses on winning gold in judo.
Champions are not made overnight, but instead over a lifetime of sacrifice, commitment, and determination. When everyone's going one direction, a champion must go the other to pursue excellence, precision, and legacy. This judo Olympian describes growing up as a teen and how his camp is preparing him for the 2020 Olympic Games in Japan.
I'm Colton Brown, originally from New Jersey, 2016 Olympian in the sport of judo and a 4-time world team member. I've been doing judo for 20 years. I started when I was 7 years old at a place, Cranford, New Jersey. Cranford Judo Karate Center under the instruction of Sensei Ionesco, who's no longer with us. So when I got serious in judo when I was about 12, and I started to like judo, so I didn't like judo at first. So when I first started doing judo, I thought I would like it, but I didn't like it, and my dad kind of kept forcing me to go. So as a kid, nobody likes that. So I didn't really like it. And then I began to like it at 12. I won my first tournament. I went down to Miami, Florida, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, for the Junior US Open, like the Junior National Tournament. And I ended up winning. And I think that made me like the sport. So I don't know if I liked judo initially or I just liked winning. When I became 14, it kind of got to the point where my friends were starting to go out and everybody was hanging out at the movies. And I used to have to practice on Friday nights and Saturday mornings. So I had to make a decision. My dad was like, you have to make a decision. Either you want to go out and hang out with your friends or you want to practice and get better. He's like, you know, and as a kid, you don't really see it. You're like, oh, yeah, I kind of want to hang out with my friends. I don't care about this that much. I can miss one day of practice every week, but that adds up. And he instilled that mindset in me from an early age. Now, you fast forward 10 years, I'm at the point where all my friends are still going out to brunches and doing all this stuff, and I'm in a different country somewhere competing or cutting weight. But if I don't think if I wouldn't have made that sacrifice back then, I don't think I would be that disciplined now. I don't think I'd be in the position I am now. And you know, we have the rest of our lives to do things like that. So I can go out and do whatever I want when I'm done with judo. But right now, I made a conscious decision then, and I think it's helped me tremendously now.
My name is Jeff Brown. I am Colton's dad. I work with him on judo and helping him develop his judo. We're going in with the core belief of if we can find the right training partners for him that are going to challenge him, that's kind of what we want to do. I believe he's a player that works off of muscle memory. So I want him going against the toughest guys.
My philosophy on any sports-related exercise is mimicking the movement of the sport. So if you look at a guy like Colton that does a combat style, which engages man-to-man, he needs to be flexible in different angles, different planes of motion. He needs to have strength, speed, and endurance all at the same time. If he keeps a passion reason that he wants to make the team, he wants to win, he wants to be the best he has to be, that's going to keep him motivated through hard workouts and through rough nights. Number two, once he identifies distractions, he's going to understand that there's certain nights he can't party, there's certain foods he can't eat, there's certain days he can't take off. Being an Olympic athlete, trying to achieve that goal, he has to keep those two things at the front of his mind. If he keeps those two things, that combination will keep him strong and keep him focused.
Winning is the driving force that keeps Colton pushing forward, with his eyes set solely on the top of the podium at Japan in 2020. For EBC Sports International, this is Rod De La Paz, 1 with 25.
Best of luck to you, Colton. We look forward to seeing you in the Olympics. That is this week's EBC Sports International. Join us again next week for more sports news. Visit our websites at Eaglenews.PH, EagleNewsLive.com, and like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/EagleNewsPH. Thank you for watching. I am Aljamin Santos. I am 1 with 25.
We're used to storms, but that was a different kind of storm. I cannot tell you how terrifying it was. Unless you were here, you cannot understand what we went through. The winds were howling, and the rain was pounding down on the roof. We couldn't believe what had happened to the city, to our beloved city. It was like a war zone. all of our buildings had no roofs. The emergency room, the glass doors had blown away. I wanted to cry because it was really in shambles.
Days before Typhoon Haiyan made landfall, ASEAN's Coordinating Center for Humanitarian Assistance on Disaster Management was ready. They tracked the storm, warned the Philippine government where it was going to hit, and sent a team to the region so that once the storm had passed, they could get to work helping survivors.
The main role for the AHA Center is basically to provide support to the ASEAN member states in the area of disaster management and to provide a coordination during joint emergency response. We can make an early preparation, so we can deploy early on the ground and then make early coordination with the potentially affected member state.
The typhoon left Tacloban practically destroyed, taking thousands of lives and leaving millions homeless. The response, though, from ASEAN and the AHA Center was immediate. They provided logistical support for the government, and nations within ASEAN donated millions of dollars for the rebuilding operation, as well as plane and boatloads filled with food and emergency supplies. ASEAN even has a warehouse in Kuala Lumpur stocked with essential equipment, ready to fly out in the event of any disaster in the region.
We can't say thank you enough to the people who came in and, just poured out their hearts and all the material support that they could give us, most especially our ASEAN neighbors who gave their best. They came out and supported us. We feel so overwhelmed with the huge outpouring of love and blessing that they extended to us.
And that support extends to improving the lives of everyone, which is why ASEAN focuses so much on health issues. Its regional action plan is aimed at ensuring everyone leads a healthy lifestyle by 2020. In 2013, government leaders signed a declaration on non-communicable diseases, specifically to combat cancer, heart disease, diabetes, and chronic respiratory problems, which are the leading causes of death in Southeast Asia.
We normally share our successes with them, and we also share our challenges with them. So I think it's a two-way process. Some of the other countries have also shown us how they can overcome other diseases, and I think it's a great opportunity for us to exchange ideas so that as a nation as a whole, in the ASEAN community, we will be able to develop healthcare to a higher level.
Malaysia's healthcare system is one of the best in the world, and its doctors and medical professionals often travel to other ASEAN nations to share their knowledge and experience. One reason the healthcare is so good in the region is that hospitals and health services are happy to blend Western and traditional medicine, using practices like acupuncture to treat patients recovering from chemotherapy.
We feel that there's a role for these forms of complementary therapy to be given to our patients. And we find that traditional complementary medicine may be a cheap way, an effective way to bring about better healthcare delivery throughout ASEAN.
From traditional Thai dancing to modern Cambodian street dance, Southeast Asia has numerous cultures, and ASEAN is committed to preserving and protecting them, just as it is for the extraordinary cultural sites in the region, from Bagan in Myanmar to Angkor Wat in Cambodia. And of course, we are determined to keep our natural areas pristine as well. Stunning Phang Ya Bay in Thailand to the Sungai Buloh wetlands in Singapore, ASEAN is committed to protect Southeast Asia's incredible biodiversity. The creation of numerous ASEAN heritage parks means that areas of outstanding natural beauty are protected for generations to come.
We're here in Mount Makiling, a very special mountain. It's very diverse and it's very important. There's at least 2,000 vascular plants alone. That's more than the entire United States.
Nathaniel is the park director here on Mount Makiling in the Philippines.
Plants and animals that are unique to a place tell us about its history, and preserving it also means preserving your own way of life. When that's gone, your own identity is gone.
ASEAN's Center for Biodiversity is also located on Mount Makiling, and it is here that staff work to protect wildlife and plant life.
Establishment of these ASEAN Heritage Parks help in giving recognition or raising the awareness of the importance to protect the biodiversity in the countries, in the ecosystems. When we say that one protected area is an ASEAN Heritage Park, it is already a shared natural heritage among the other countries.
The parks are also an excellent place to pass down information through the generations.
When we bring a student here, when we explain all this, everyone goes, oh, these are the things we don't learn from zoo.
The aim of the socio-cultural community is to build a community that is people-centered and socially responsible. We all want to live in a caring, sharing, and inclusive society where the well-being and livelihoods of everyone are enhanced. It's about giving everyone opportunities to succeed and helping out one another in times of need, so that everyone can live and achieve the ASEAN dream.
Ang susunod na programa ay rated PG. Ito ay nangangailangan ng patnubay at gabay ng magulang para sa mga batang manonood.